What's up, everybody? Welcome to Spectator Mode. This is episode 75. Gentlemen, to the far right is Matthew Get Serious Paul. The gentleman in the middle is Carl May Smart, and my name is I don't know anymore. Keith Mitchell, I think it is. I'm not sure. Yo, guys.
Yeah.
So you may be asking us, hey, why are we on Fridays? We did say we were switching the days, and we are on Fridays now. Fridays. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time. I don't know what the hell it is anymore. But we are here.
East Coast time.
East Coast time. We are here on Fridays. We're going to keep the weekends to do gaming and have fun and enjoy stuff and adult. And, well, Friday we're still somewhat sane, I guess.
Oh, yeah, the sponsorship.
Yeah. And Carl, the Coca-Cola sponsorship. Yo, Coke, if you want to sponsor us for a podcast, we would love it. Anyway, let's do what we always do at the beginning of every show. We talk about the games we played. And honestly, I can't talk about the games I've been playing.
Wow. I've been crushing a lot of games.
Actually, you know what? I can't actually talk about it. They didn't say I couldn't talk about it. I just can't talk
It depends on what part of the embargo is up.
What part of who's got
is it the streaming part of the embargo or the reviewing part of the embargo? Or the part of the embargo where you can't even say the name?
You know what? I'm not even going to do it. I'm not even going to say it. You're right. I'm not going to do that because we do respect the NDAs here at the Outerhaven. So, sorry, folks. Can't tell you what game I've been playing.
Can you hint?
It's a racing game. It is a throwback arcade racing game.
The throwback arcade racing game with things that go vroom vroom. Which could be just about anything at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Outside,
I know it is. Keith's got the brand new Gran Turismo. He's secretly been hiding a PlayStation 5 on us.
Yep, that's it. Yep. That's exactly it. I am a Sony.
He's been down.
Sony boy. Yeah, no.
Finally. Oh yes, it's true. He joined the light, Lord. Yeah, that sounds fun.
No, it's not it. Other than that, I actually started playing Amazon's MMO, which is in preview, New World. I actually played the beta last year before they shelved it. Yeah, they have an MMO.
Amazon?
Yeah.
Like Jeff Bezos?
Yeah.
Has an MMO.
Remember, Amazon has a gaming production or gaming development studio.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been playing that. I played the old one. I played the new one for a couple hours. It's actually pretty decent for what it is. Obviously, it has a lot to go, or a long way to go. It's not going to compete with WoW or Final Fantasy, but it's a lot better than what I played last year.
Okay.
So I've been playing a lot of that just to see how it is, just to give them some feedback, and just to say, hey, Outerhaven, check out this game. But other than that, yeah, that's it. Games I can't really talk about.
Cool. All right, then I'll go on what I played. I finally beat Yakuza 0 on Legend difficulty. That was fun. I decided to do that just for a random challenge. I'm now playing Yakuza 2 Kiwami. That's what I'm doing. I play a lot of Phantasy Star Online too. And I haven't had a chance to play Gordian Quest because the new act came out. So the second act of the 5-act game came out, so the early access. So that's been crushing it. So I haven't had a chance to play that, but I will play that soon. That's on my to-do list. I'll probably try to make a video and put it on YouTube about it, but yeah, that's my plan.
All right. What about you, Carl?
I've actually been playing some things that have actually come out of embargo. Project Cars 3, things go vroom. They go vroom very well. Otherwise, I've actually stayed clear of the WoW crack for this particular week.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Even though, they have recently put out the news that Shadowlands is going to be released on October 27th, which means the pre-patch should be hitting probably any day now, which I'll probably jump back in and play that. But otherwise, I actually went back just for a bit of semi-nostalgic, just a quick hit of serotonin because it's a damn good game. Marvel Spider-Man.
Oh, that's
playing my way through that once again. I actually cleared the main campaign at 100% the other night, so now I'm starting the DLCs again.
When you play that game, does your PlayStation sound like it's a jet about to take off?
No, it does not, because I'm still using the original model PlayStation, not PlayStation Pro, which I've heard that's why they sound like jet engines.
Yes, it most certainly does.
Also the fact that I keep my PlayStation pretty clean. I actually now open it up and clean out the fan, processor, all the vents, and everything else with compressed air, probably once every 2 to 3 months. Because frankly, the damn thing is way out of warranty. So why does it really matter if I open it up now?
Mm-hmm.
So I make sure to keep my stuff pretty clean. My shelves are clean. I clean them every week where the consoles are sitting, so there's no dust buildup or anything like that. The only thing I have had problem with is I've had random controller disconnects recently. I think a lot of that also came down to the fact that the PlayStation 4 controller does use a Bluetooth signal to connect to the PlayStation, and I have a feeling that the new Bluetooth speaker I bought for my PC setup is interfering with that signal, causing the controllers to drop.
That is quite possible, because if you use a Bluetooth controller or the Xbox One Bluetooth on a PC with Bluetooth, it does disconnect a lot if you have other Bluetooth and are using a Wi-Fi signal in your room, which is why I hate Bluetooth Xbox One adapters or controllers on a PC. I use the adapters instead.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I personally prefer to tether the controllers via cable to a PC if I can possibly, but because the Bluetooth speaker is literally just that, it is a Bluetooth speaker. It needs Bluetooth in order to be enabled, and to run it only use a USB cable to charge. I've found that I've had a bit of an issue with that, connecting and disconnecting other things in the room that are requiring Bluetooth.
Fair enough.
So I found that once I turn the speaker off, which means I can't watch stuff on my PC while playing on the TV, but got to keep the controller connected, or else how are you going to play the game?
Fair enough. I think we might have lost Matt for a second, but all good.
Nope.
Oh, there he's back.
Yep, just had to fix something of like, oh snap, something happened to my door, and
oh snap.
You got the ghost? You got the ghost?
Yeah.
Don't you hate when that happens?
So it's the worst. It's like, who is in my house? No,
right?
It's just oh great, yeah.
Right? All right, so we got a couple of topics to cover today, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. I wanted to give an update on the Apple versus Epic Games. So a California District Court judge ruled 2 rulings. They basically told Apple they could not deny Epic Games access to their tools, so they are safe on that one. But they did tell Epic Games that Apple does not have to put Fortnite back on the App Store because they pretty much broke their contract. Epic Games is in the wrong there. They tried to added a payment system to bypass Apple, and Epic Games is in the wrong. So Apple does not need to put them back. So what Epic Games did was, after they announced their new season 4, they pretty much told Apple iOS and Mac users that they could not get the updated version of Fortnite on their platforms. But multiple people noticed that they could download the update. They just don't get access to the new stuff. So Epic Games pretty much lied. They pretty much have to flip a switch to give them access to it, but they don't want to, because they're not on the App Store, which is, once again, Epic Games showing their ass.
I mean, it's just interesting in the case of, like, as we did something earlier. It's that Epic Games is in the wrong because they try to bypass the platform to get money, and again, they convinced all their fanboys, made a whole update to get it, and like, you were still in the wrong. It's one of those, like, you convinced everyone, corporate wars, new age, but they were wrong. They were in the wrong. I don't think they'll be back on the Apple platform after what they've done, and this is really going to hamper their relationships further going. Because what happens? They launch a game that could be mobile excessive, and Apple is a large market. They can't be part of that market. That really hampers their revenue across the board for something so petty. For like an extra, like, what? Let's say Apple takes 40% and you get 60%. Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
Apple takes 30%.
30%. Oh, even lower.
The thing is, Epic Games is saying they're championing for developers, but in the end, it's like, no, you're not. You're championing for yourself, because you're the one who did the slime ball tactic. I don't think Fortnite will be off App Store forever, but Apple's not going to back down. It's going to be Epic Games going, okay, we give up. We're going to revert what we did, and that's that. But the problem is, like you said before, they mobilize their fan base. People who play the game, their fan base, by saying, "Hey, we're giving you V-Bucks cheaper because we're circumventing Apple." So what happens when they go back and say, okay, we're going to play by your rules, we're going to do X, Y, Z? Are you going to say, okay, hey guys, by the way, the V-Bucks price is going back up? Or are you going to stick to your gun and say we care about our fan base and leave it at the discount they're giving them now?
Oh no, they'll turn it back up and they'll go blame Apple.
So
yeah, exactly.
It'll be interesting. At the same time, they're not really saying anything about the Google side because Google also removed them, but you can still get Fortnite on Android because the Epic Game Store has a storefront on Google,
app.
and Samsung app lets you do it too. So even though you can't get it on the Google Store, you can still get it in 2 other places. So Android is not being affected, not as much as iOS and Mac is. Good old
but that's the thing though. It's like I've been trying to work this out since the beginning, and the only thing I can really come up with is, again, it's about profit sharing.
Yeah.
And Apple takes 30-40% or whatever it is every time that something gets spent through their store.
Right.
Why? Do Apple host the content on their store? No.
Yes.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Yes, they do.
What? So they have a server set up somewhere that is specifically designed for V-Bucks transactions?
No.
Yes.
They have their entire payment system goes to them. Apple is the payment processor.
That doesn't. Okay. And I can see. Okay, I understand that, and that's probably why Epic has decided to try and do their own processing.
But it's not just that. Apple is the one who handles distribution. Apple is the one who handles the transit to all the Apple devices. Apple is the one who makes sure there's no fraud.
So they're a middleman. They're like retail stores.
Yes.
Okay.
For everyone owns an Apple, so yeah.
So that's holding people. That's holding developers hostage.
Well, they're not holding developers hostage.
Saying that it's either use our platform our way or nothing.
Well, it's pretty much it. It's our ecosystem. Apple has been like that to everybody.
And yet, look at what's happened in the PC space. You did have a monopoly for quite a while there with Steam, and now other companies are going, well, we can do exactly the same thing.
Steam never had a monopoly. Steam never stopped any other stores from coming up. There have been multiple stores.
They didn't, but they made it sound like that this is the way if you want to get stuff out there.
No, what they did was give people the access and the tools. Even developers said if it wasn't because of Steam, people would not have found our game. They gave people the access, which is why Steam charges so much for their services. Steam is even better. They provide the development tools, the server tools, the anti-cheat tools.
Yeah, but they didn't in the beginning though, Keith.
They did.
Nowadays Steam is actually very viable and it's a very worthwhile platform for the amount that you're spending. Apple, on the other hand, is you're basically just saying, okay, so we're paying you X amount of dollars to host a server.
Well, they pretty much do the same thing that Steam does. But again, Apple.
But Apple doesn't give them the development tools or anything like that. They have to develop everything in house.
They have to develop everything in house, but everything else.
And then Apple comes along at the end and says, okay, we're going to take a proportion of your income.
That's what happens when they're hosting your stuff. They're running the ecosystem.
But can you at least see how that is hindering? And I'm starting to sort of see it from Epic's side. Yes, Epic Games can be a bunch of assholes. Okay, I'm not gonna deny that. Their foray into exclusivity and everything when they've come onto the PC market is absolutely douchebaggery at the top percentage.
Mm-hmm.
But when you run an ecosystem, which is essentially Apple is basically just a hosting service. They're not even they're not doing promotion.
They are doing promotion. They definitely are.
That's designed by an algorithm. That's like saying Google promotes shit.
You're finding their stuff in Apple's store. Yeah. They are featuring your product.
Find their stuff on Apple Store through fucking Google fucking Ask Jeeves.
You could, but
it doesn't mean that they're promoting it.
If I go to the App Store...
There's a difference between searching something up and promoting it.
That's not what I'm saying. If you open up the App Store, if you've ever opened up the App Store, Fortnite is front and foremost right in your face. That is promoting your shit.
Which is created by a search algorithm.
It doesn't matter.
Apple doesn't go out there and say, play Fortnite.
They pretty much are.
They do that on their all their Apple shitty commercials. Like every time they look at the Apple Game Store, here's Fortnite.
We're not going to see eye to eye, but there's a lot more stuff that Apple is doing. I actually sent you a link last time we talked about this. Everything the Apple Store provides you.
Yeah, like my take of it is like you don't swindle the swindlers. That's the best way to describe it. You don't steal from thieves.
And
that's
Carl, and I've said this for years. I'm not a fan of Apple's practices. That's why I don't buy Apple products. I don't like Apple. But if you're going
to do business with them, yeah.
At the end of the day, the thing is this. Look, if you're going to do business with us, you're going to play by our rules no matter how you like it or not. This is our ecosystem. It is a closed ecosystem. It's not like Android where they go, you can have a store, you can have a store, you can have a store, you can have a store. We don't care. It's not the same. And they made a deal. And then they decided they didn't want to adhere to the deal. So Apple said, okay, fine. You're off.
Which is something I scratched. This something I always scratch my head about. It's like the Apple agreement with Epic Game Stores was up to season 1 through this is 4 now. 3+ seasons. Now season 4 is a problem. You kind of see it's a little bit opportunistic. If you had a problem since day one and made it apparent, the problem is that season 4 was going to make them tons of bankbusters. Apparently, I don't know. It's Fortnite. Those kids have their parents' credit cards. They're rich. Thank you, parents' credit cards. But
but the thing is, what I'm saying is that Apple might provide this, that, and the other, but to be honest, it's probably not worth what they're asking in the percentage, which is what Epic Games has fucking realized and has decided. Okay, now we're going to find a way to do it a little bit cheaper our way.
Yeah,
and Apple's has said, competition? No, fuck you, go away. No, how dare you bring competition to our platform? How dare you bring competition to our brand?
You know what? Here's the thing.
It's more like this.
Yeah.
You on our platform, and after, like I said, you've been on our platform for some while now. Now you decide to bypass our platform, breaking out rules of agreement that we all agreed upon, regardless if you hate me or not. It's like I said last week on Mike Z. The moment you fuck with someone's number, you're a piece of shit. You already agreed. You're here. That's the point. That's the point I make. Like if they left the Epic Game Store or made their own Epic Apple Game Store section on the Apple Store mechanic, then that's a whole murky thing. But it did not. But using my platform to bypass me.
They literally cannot do that. And that's the thing again. Apple is very strict on anything that you do in their ecosystem. That's why they don't let you jailbreak their phones or their tablets. There's certain things you can do. You can't upgrade your stuff. If you want to upgrade your Mac, and Apple's like, sorry, no, buy a new one. Sorry, this is Apple.
See you later.
Apple has a very crappy practice, but they know it works because it makes them money. Epic.
And why is that okay? Explain to me right now. Why is that okay? Why is one company allowed to get away with this bullshit? Yet if any other company does it, it's well, they're doing the best thing for themselves.
Okay.
And Apple turns around and goes, okay, we're going to restrict you more than the fucking prison system. And people are like, oh, that's fine.
Okay, no, I'll explain it to you. Here we go. It's simple business. It's Apple's phones. It's Apple's OS. It's Apple's network. You don't like it? Get off. It's that simple. It's not Android. It's not where Samsung and HT, whoever wants to make an Android phone can make an Android phone or Android device. Google doesn't care. It's not the same. It is a closed environment. They are the gatekeepers.
So it's a monopoly.
Yeah.
Not really. You could go somewhere else. I mean, if you don't want to deal with Apple.
It is kind of monopoly if you look at it in certain terms, but Matt is right. You don't like it? Go to Android.
And Android's been successful. Android doesn't care. That's why I got all these sick phone games on Android. They don't care. They just want the ad money or whatever they want.
And yet, for some reason, we're painting Epic as the bad guys.
No.
Apple are saying, you must do things our way, and you're saying, yes, you must do things Apple's way.
No, we're painting them the bad guy because they made an agreement, and then they said we're not going to adhere to your agreement. They decided that we're special and everybody else can keep doing what you want them to do, but we're not going to do it.
Because we're Fortnite. Yeah. You've been on our platform for like 3+ years. Now you decide what the hell is this about? It would be like
so they want to look at changing the system.
Then just that Apple, they're not going to change.
It's one thing. That's what I don't want to stay on here, but you say that he left. You say you want to change the system. But the problem with that is, and he left.
He left.
You want to change the system, but the problem is you can't change the system if the person who owns the system is saying no, we're not going to do this.
Yeah, it's different. It's the best way to describe it is that it's not like it's like how to put this, a council. Like okay, all the platformers, all the guys who make all the apps and games have equal say on the platform, much like Apple. No, Apple told you from the gate, publish here. These are the rules. We get 30% of the cut, and that's that. I'm more like, and Apple really messed, and like I said, Epic messed up because they try to circumvent the system. You try to cheat people you were working with already. That's why I understand Apple's rage. Look, I understand Epic, like, yo, man, we got to make more money from this, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, bro, you can't cheat other people if they're already cheating you. It's like, you can't.
And the thing is, and Carl's gone, but the thing is, that's not why people are painting Epic Games to be the bad guy. They're painting them to be the bad guy for the methods they're doing to try and bully Apple to give up their...
Yeah, by using their fan base, making
that's what they're doing. Yeah. That's what they're doing. When Epic Games came out and said, hey, we're going to buy these exclusives on the PC, and we're going to make it cheaper for people. And then people have shown that they didn't make it cheaper for anybody. The things that they said they were going to do for other countries and other markets or regions, they jacked up prices.
Yeah.
So they're not living up to their expectations. It's not a thing. It's not a clear-cut case of Epic being a bad guy. It's a clear-cut case is, again, if I signed a contract, if I made a deal and I decided I'm going to not hold up my end of the bargain, then you get kicked off. If I'm paying a mortgage on a house and I agree to pay you $1,200 a month until my house is paid off, and I decide I'm not going to pay you, they're going to kick me out of my house.
Because you broke the terms of agreement. Like I said, if you had a beef with this since day one and you made it vocal and everyone was aware of it, yes, I would totally be honest. Like, hey man, Eric's talked about this for years, man. Nope, just today.
But that's pretty much the update for Epic, unfortunately.
Yeah,
we're gonna move on to the WB games on Gotham Knights, because when they first announced Gotham Knights, again, there was a rumor that this game was going to be a game to the service.
Yeah.
And then there was an interview recently where they came out and stated that it's not actually going to be a game on excuse me, it's not going to be a game to service. So
right.
Instead, here are the bullet points from the actual interview. So pretty much what they said is, again, it's not a game to service. There is no level gating whatsoever. You literally can go from the beginning of the game to the end of the game by starting up. Obviously, if you do that, you're not going to do well because you need to level up and you'll need to get experience. You can play with the same character in co-op. It would be pretty much, if you have Batgirl and your friend wants to be Batgirl, then you both can be Batgirl. This is a single player experience with co-op built into it. This is a campaign-driven game.
Right.
The villains will have their own storylines, branching storylines. Now, I don't know what that means as far as branching. Does it mean that if you do one thing, the villain will have a different thing to react to you, or say you didn't kill somebody, or say you didn't apprehend somebody?
No.
That
would be a great idea for what I would say for replayability. But no, what they really mean is that branching storyline is once you do like 3 missions with Batgirl, as you said, now you can do the Penguin's mission. That's what I mean. Like you have a prerequisite. That's what I think they mean.
The game will take place only at night, which makes sense. The day will be basically confined to doing stuff in your base operations or the Belfry. There may be more games after Gotham Knights. They said it depends on how this game does. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, my take of it is that like it's either it sounds like games as a service light with Batman juice all over it, or it's going to be Destiny 2 gear progression with Batman juice over it, just the way you described it. I don't think that it's going to be good or bad because it takes some time. The same way, like I'm still waiting on I play Marvel Avengers beta. I think it's fun, but I'll give it more time because it's like it's just weird the way they're coining their game. It sounds like they're making this. They're trying to make like it feels like they're just trying to make a grind. They're trying to make, like, you know how Destiny works, that formula of you do this, you do that. They're trying to do that, and I feel like it doesn't apply. And I know it's a trend of gaming now, and I say trend as in we've seen a lot more often, but I don't think it works for this. They should just have a single player campaign mode and a multiplayer co-op mode, and just leave it as that. But or have in the most something. I don't know. They're really trying to dance too many. They probably dance around too many rings.
Well, we'll have to
Too many
wait and
hoops
see.
for me.
We'll have to wait and see how it works out in the end.
Yeah.
But at least they gave us an update as to what we can expect with the versus the rumors of what we're going to see. And again,
Yeah.
big thing is not a games of service, which a lot of people were really curious about. So good thing on that.
Yeah.
Are you? I know we were talking about this, and you weren't really sure if you were looking forward to this game or not. What do you think about it now? Still same?
Still the same boat. It's the same boat. I personally, I'm gonna have to wait until I see more of it, and probably I really don't know how to describe it. It's like I'm less optimistic about the game because this isn't Rocksteady, but it still has a chance to be okay. Like I hope that they don't try to like make an undercooked game and sell it for $60. I'll be upset. So I hope it's all right.
Well, Carl,
I'm hoping.
any opinions on that? Carl?
Carl? Oh, is he?
Hello, hello.
Oh, okay. Whew. Oh man, I thought we got a internet issue.
No, we good. We good.
I was
Just
saying,
need to take some time. I just need to take some time to calm down. The Gotham Knights update thing. I still reckon they're gonna fuck it up. Regardless of what they've been saying lately, trying to make corrections and this, that, and the other. It's WB Montreal. I'm sorry. I have zero faith in what they're saying. I don't think it's going to be anything like what they're promising, and a lot of people are going to go, it's not the Arkham series, so I don't like it.
yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough. Like I said, I feel like they're trying to do what modern gaming trend does and just throw some Batman juice on it, and I'm like very iffy on it. At the same time, I won't mind playing this with my brother or with some friends, but I can't see myself paying 60 bones on release for something that's the way they describe in the game.
What about 70 bucks?
No.
I would pay 40, maybe 30 or 40 for this.
Well, that's not even it. It's like supposedly this is meant to be coming out on the next gens, which is even going to be at an even higher price, supposedly.
Oh boy! All right.
Yeah, I'm like even like the thing that got me was saying, it's sort of sometimes co-op. That was one of the quotes I saw, and I'm like,
yeah.
But, I want to play. As soon as I said to my partner, oh, they got co-op in this thing, so if you want to join me and play, she was like, yeah, I want to play, and then I heard it's like sometimes co-op. I'm like, oh.
Well, they did say it's going to be co-op. The entire game can be played co-op, but it's still a single player game, which basically means is the second player.
Yeah, it's pointless.
Yeah, won't make a difference. We'll have to wait.
The other thing that got me just quickly was a major contradiction that I noticed was they said, "Oh, we're not going to level gatekeep this game."
Right.
Yet in the very next bullet point that they put out, it was enemy levels depend on mission. I'm like, hold on, that is level gatekeeping. So it's like, hold on, you can't even get your own points straight. So why should I trust anything you're saying?
Well,
it's like I said, it's like they're taking a lot of modern game trends that's popular right now, and I'm not a fan of those. Like, the one thing I hate about the gaming industry, and everyone knows too, when something is popular or something that's done once, we all try to copy to put in other games, and I hate that because sometimes it doesn't work. Like this game as a service model or this Destiny-esque game style doesn't work for every game, and you can't just shoehorn it in. And it just doesn't work because it will ruin the experience. Are you trying to make a co-op beat 'em up that has a story? Then do that. Just do that. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Come on, man. But anyway, I hope for the best. And if I see this in a bargain bin, I know why.
Let's hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
This next topic is going to be interesting. This is about the PlayStation 5. So, I'm not really sure if you two have been following what's been happening with the PlayStation 5, but there were rumors at the beginning of the year that it might be a shortage, and then they came out and said there wasn't going to be a shortage, and then it came back out saying there might be a shortage. Now Sony is sending out emails to people saying, hey, you can go to this website right now and sign up to potentially be invited to purchase a PlayStation 5 directly through Sony, and obviously you get to buy a console, 2 controllers, a couple games, 2 of the cameras if you want, and that's got a lot of people wondering what exactly is going on with the PlayStation 5. I talked to a couple of my buddies who work at GameStop, and they pretty much said that they're not being told anything as far as shipments that are going to come in. They have no idea. They did say that there's a number being tossed around of how many PlayStation 5s will be available on the first launch, and they're saying it's 10 million.
That's enough. That sounds like a good number.
That
sounds like
is
someone
not enough.
No, that sounds like a good number to die for. That sounds like, I wish everyone the best. The strongest survives. Let's go for that.
That is crazy because, again, I'm just going to be honest. If it's like this, then they just need to delay the console. They really do, because again, I'm going to say it again. We're in a recession. We got people out there killing people for shit. The last thing we want is a repeat of what happened many, many years ago when people were killing people for the consoles.
Yeah, not good old crime, but classic crime. Oh, that's just ridiculous.
And we live in a society where, I want to have this, and if I can't get it legitly, I'm going to do what I can to get it. That itself is scary.
Yeah, Nietzsche was we're too much Nietzschean right now. Justify the means,
Delay it. Just delay it. I mean,
well,
go ahead.
They want to get something out, and that's the biggest problem, is because it has been technically delayed due to the virus. Like, a lot of businesses weren't running for a while. Production on hardware and stuff stopped for a while. And I understand, you should just delay it. But when Microsoft's about to launch the same console in the same time frame, do you really want to give them an edge?
Do they really have an edge? They don't have a system seller.
You know what?
Well, Microsoft doesn't.
Exactly. They don't have.
So,
I mean, to be honest, wait a second, Matt, real quick. Be honest, PlayStation doesn't have it either. They've got Ratchet and Clank, which people are looking at through nostalgia glasses, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. That's it. Everything else is next year.
And fine, but at least they got something. At least they've got something exclusive for the console that people can actually excited for you. Nostalgia goggles or not, much as you seem to hate nostalgia goggles.
Would you say that? But then people say, "Well, Xbox got Gears of War. Gears of War is dead." So it's
show me the lie. Show me the lie.
Show me the lie.
I mean, the last Ratchet and Clank game was ass. So I could do that. See what I mean?
Here's the thing, though.
It's two different arguments.
Here's the thing, though. Gears of War 4 and 5 are made by the same studio. It's complete butt cheeks. I'm not gonna. Let's be adults about this. The last Ratchet and Clank was bad because it's not made by the good people.
No, it was.
Ratchet and Clank has been bounced around by so many hands. I don't know who's touching it now, but I know the good guys are touching it now. So we have some faith there. But come on, you're gonna tell me that Gears deserves another chance? You dropped 2 doo-doo games.
But that's not what I'm saying.
Games.
That's not what I'm saying. And the last Ratchet and Clank on the PlayStation 4 was an Insomniac game. So it was also, they tried to tie it into the movie, which wasn't a good idea. It wasn't wasn't a bad game, and this is what I'm coming to when I said nostalgia glasses. When I talked to a couple people about the PlayStation 4 one, they were like, it wasn't as good as the PlayStation 3 one. Okay, bearing that, is it a good game by itself? It was an alright game. Okay, so why do you consider it a bad game then? Because it wasn't like the PlayStation. I was like, no, I'm done. I can't talk to you.
To me, the Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, I can. The argument I can, like I said, the PS3 version, I didn't like the PS3 one as much because it played way too simplistic compared to the other ones. And to me, the best Ratchet and Clank game was the PS2 era, where you had the original and Going Commando. Every Ratchet and Clank after that has been extremely less difficult and lost that edge of like this shoot 'em up difficulty. Otherwise, every Ratchet and Clank after has been like formulaic, easy mode. That's it.
But I'm not talking about the Ratchet and Clanks. I'm talking about in general. If there is a shortage, wouldn't it be better just to wait? I mean, Microsoft is not getting an advantage over you. Microsoft does not have an app. Does not have a must buy.
That's true, but you want to keep winning first. Winning first matters. I'm not joking. That's what
Yeah.
Sony's probably thinking. I want to win
But
first. I want to win now.
this is the thing. You take a look at sales history. The Xbox got out before the PS2. The Xbox started to dominate the market. The Xbox 360 got out before the PS3, started to dominate the market. PS4 got out before the Xbox One series, started dominating the market. The first console out the gate is going to be what is going to dominate that market.
Didn't the Xbox One come out before the PlayStation 4?
I think
Citation needed, I think.
Citation needed. But in general, though, you definitely want to get your foot in the door. That's pretty much understanding. But yeah, that's probably the reason.
Yeah.
Get your foot in the door.
You don't want to be putting out a console like if they delay, they're gonna have to delay at least 6 months. And that is a huge head start over Microsoft. Sorry, that gives Microsoft a huge head start over Sony. And once you have a gap like that, unless you can come out with like the most amazing game on the planet bundled with the console, you're not going to make up that 6 month gap pretty quickly or easily.
The Xbox One versus PlayStation 4 was a couple of days, a week.
Yeah, it was a couple of days. That's fine. There's that finite difference, not a problem.
It was a
what
botch
I'm saying
launch.
is like the delay. If you have a big delay between the two consoles, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to turn around and go, okay, well, I can't get my PS5, so I'm going to pick up a Series X. Once they have the Series X, especially if they're going to be at these, $600-700 price ranges that they've been predicted at, it's going to be a lot of people are not going to buy that second console until at least a year, 2 years after release. Which means if Sony already delays by 6 months, then they're technically delaying their market share by 2 years and 6 months. And that is a massive hit to their bottom line.
I mean, that's just me. That's just how I feel. I mean, if there's no real reason.
As a gamer, if you have a console shortage, delay, no problems. As a gamer, I would say that straight up. But again, I'm like Matt. I look at business as well, and that delay is very costly to Sony.
I just said that. I agree to that.
The problem I have with that is it can't. It doesn't need to be looked at as just a business standpoint. I understand the company standpoint. I'm not debating that. I'm talking about the consumers, the people that are like, I'm going to buy this, but you're going to buy it and have it sit there.
People do that before.
Yeah, isn't that what scalpers do?
Yeah, that's what scalpers do.
Don't even get me started with those assholes.
I mean, people do that.
Hey, think about it. You create if there is going to be a shortage of supply on these consoles, you know for a fact the scalper's going to take at least 50% of them.
And that's the problem. That's another problem. That is a huge problem. So honestly, if the shortage actually is happening,
but the thing is, if you delay, those scalpers are still going to get that 50%.
They're going to get it regardless. They are always going to be in the foreground of this because they're going to get the shit. They're going to go to Best Buy. They're going to buy the stuff up. They're going to use their snipe bots, whatever, go to place, whatever. Scalpers always ruin a launch for people, especially when there are not enough consoles to go around. They always do that. They did it on the PlayStation 3. It was terrible. They will always be around to fuck people over.
But, and mind you, there has been no concrete evidence or statement from Sony saying that there is going to be a limited amount of PlayStation 5s at launch. When this email went out, and it was only an American email.
Yeah.
So it's only for people in America.
Right.
And that could be due to the fact of international flights not going to America. It's international shipping is delaying a lot in America. You got to remember, your country is basically plague central right now. Nobody wants to go near your country.
I don't want to go near my country.
That is what could possibly create a shortage. Every other division of Sony around the world, as soon as this hit yesterday afternoon, my time, I had an email within 10 minutes from Sony Australia saying that the email that is going around news cycles right now about the possible shortage of PS5 units and the lottery and everything else to get one in the US has not been announced by any other department in Sony, including Australia. We will contact you at a later point should any issues arise.
Now that could be legit, or it could be damage control. At this point, we know nothing. None of us.
That's what I got from Sony Australia. So I'm citing my source is Sony Australia.
No, I get that, but they could be playing damage control, saying, "Hey, don't worry about it." Then again, they're like, "Well, we need to tell you something, but we can't tell you everything." Because Sony America hasn't come out and said, "Hey, we're going to have a shortage." They're just sending out this email, which has got a lot of people going,
"Well, that's it." They sent out an email. That's what I said in the beginning. There is no proof,
right,
stating that there is going to be a shortage. At this point, it is saying that there is going to be some sort of lottery or pre-interest sign up, which is the exact same thing. EB Games here in Australia had the same thing. They asked when the console was first shown earlier this year. All of a sudden, EB Games had a webpage up saying, "Express your interest in the PlayStation 5." This is just their way of finding out how many people are interested in buying through certain retailers. And that's all this could be. It could be Sony finding a way to sell direct to the public and saying, if you would like a PlayStation 5 and you'd like to get it directly through us, instead of, a third-party retailer who might be closed at the moment due to COVID, express your interest and we will contact you with when it goes, like when we have some sort of sales going. That's all it could be. But all of a sudden, everybody's going, "It's going to be a shortage. It's going to create demand. It's going to mean I'm going to have to go to eBay and pay 4 times the price from a fucking scalper."
Or you could just do classic patience. I mean,
but that's my whole thing. People don't know how to do that. I gotta have it. I gotta have it. I gotta have it. I gotta have it. I need it. I gotta have it. Okay, you don't need it. You don't need it. It's not air. It's not putting a house over your freaking head unless you're a professional gamer. Then again, okay, you don't need it. Yes, it's nice to have, but you don't need to run out and kill somebody or break your bank or do something that you shouldn't be doing to get one. Relax, wait to see what happens.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. Like, people should have patience, but again, we're in a disposable society where we must have the latest and greatest right now. And you won't have to worry. You won't have to worry about the influencers and the programmers. They'll get their one straight from Sony for launch for free. We all know that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that shit. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's interesting. And talking about PlayStation, let's talk about another thing about PlayStation. So, Call of Duty is making its big push. We have the next Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which I'll be honest, it's the first Call of Duty I've been excited for in a long time. Reason being, I love Black Ops.
Did you fight in the Cold War, Keith?
No, would I be here if I? I enjoyed the first Black Ops. I really did. That was the only Call of Duty game outside of Modern Warfare that I played a lot. I love that one. Now I don't know what to expect in this one, but one of the big selling points for the PlayStation 5 version is that the PlayStation 5 version will support 4K and 120 frames per second. And ever since they made that announcement, it was, oh my God, PlayStation 5 is the best. It does 120 frames per second on 4K. Nobody else can do this. And I'm like, 1, stop it. 2, do you understand what it requires to get to that particular resolution and frame rate? And I'm not talking about horsepower. I'm talking about, hey, by the way, your TV cannot support it. You need an HDMI 2.1 TV to support 4K over 60 frames per second, which means majority of people in this country, this world, do not have a TV that can run anything at 4K at 120 frames per second. Which means if you do want this, you're going to have to go spend $1,000, maybe $2,000 or more to get a TV to support this technology. And all of a sudden, it nullifies the point.
But we've been saying that since the beginning, though.
Like, you guys, they give you a buzzword and off to the races. Ray tracing. Oh, it's going to have ray tracing. It's going to be the best. But your TV can't see that shit. Oh, it's going to have this, but your TV can't support this. I mean, it's great.
Hey, look, I'm happy that the TV I've got sitting here next to me in the office can support 4K finally.
I mean,
my
it's
TV
great.
works. That's the plan I got.
Yeah, it turns on. It works. It's good.
That's literally all I know about TV. Like, it works. That's the best I got going for me.
And it's not a jab. It's not a jab at just PlayStation 5 because it will do it on It will do it on Xbox Series X. But
no, jab at fucking PC owners too.
Well, it doesn't jab PC owners because PC owners monitors.
So you can have a graphics card in your computer that supports 4K. I've had a couple of them, but my monitors don't support 4K.
Well, that's the thing. That's the big difference with PC monitors. If your monitor support 4K, you ain't getting 4K. I'm talking about for people that have 4K monitors that can't, or 4K TVs that can't go past 60 frames per second. Because people don't.
Again, it's like a monitor.
Yeah, people don't understand what needs to be in place in order for this to happen.
Okay.
It's just an interesting take, and maybe it's just the techie me wishing that when people say, hey, you can do X, Y, and Z, you be upfront and say, if you have this. When it comes to a PC game, right? Or doing certain things on the PC, they tell you, you can do this if you have the hardware.
So you're wanting honesty in the industry.
I would love that.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking for the Call of Duty. You're looking for the Call of Duty Cold War, so you get to meet Ronald Reagan until he killed black people again. So
I don't want any politics. I don't want to talk about politics.
Look, Ronald Reagan's in the game. You know that, right?
I said that, and when I talked about my write-up, and I said he's in there, I don't want to talk about politics. I literally said I don't want to talk about politics. Let's move on. I literally said that.
Fine. You don't want to talk about the good times of the 80s.
It's Call of Duty. So what do you expect? More shoot, bang, bang. More 12-year-olds screaming at you over headsets.
I mean, swearing they're good.
I mean, they do that in Fortnite. I mean,
that's different though. In Fortnite, they're not good. In Call of Duty, you can kind of pass it being good. It's kind of unfair.
But it's just more education. That's what I want, because I know what I hate in the end when people rush to get stuff and they try and play stuff, even on PC. I can't run this. My computer's not good enough. Well, you didn't pay attention. I got this game and I can't. It's not 120 frames per second. One, how the freak do you know? Your eyes can't really see that. Two, did you pay attention to what you needed to do this? Did you do any research on your own?
Plus, 90% of people don't realize that every monitor that's running through Microsoft Windows by default is running at 60 hertz per second. So the maximum frame rate to put it out is 60 frames per second, unless you actually go into Windows settings and change it to 120.
That's what I do.
Then you're technically not going to know a difference.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's because you're you. Yeah. You don't use you in examples.
Oh man.
But you're that ultra, 0.0001% that, when it comes to these technical things, you know what you're doing. You're so far removed from average Joe that like your name not even Joe.
He's elite Joe.
I've ascended. There we go. I've ascended. But yeah, it's just one of those things that just nags me. That's all. I just hate.
Oh yeah, well, it nags all of us. But again, this is what happens when you live in that good old disposable society known as capitalism, where if you don't have that TV that gets 4K and 120 frames per second, well, there's that store just around the corner. Walmart's every 5 feet, and you can buy one TV for $120 or something that does exactly the same thing. And Can I
be honest with you? Again, I've known people have said this in the past, and I'll say it again. 4K is overrated.
Oh yeah, but it's the latest and greatest thing. It was like, not even 10 years ago. Hey, you have a 3D TV.
Funny story.
3D TV, even though the 3D was shit.
The dentist
especially when you're playing games.
The dentist that I take my daughter to has one of those 3D TVs sitting in the back corner, just sitting there on the shelf. I saw it when I went there. I was like, wow, it's just sitting there.
Yeah, exactly it. But the thing is, if you need to upgrade that TV, Walmart's open all night. And they always take your money.
But getting back to it, bro, I mean, the 4K, okay, that's education.
But that's the thing.
It doesn't need it.
It literally is marketing. It doesn't. Yes, it doesn't need it. But the way that they phrase it and the way that they explain it, You have to have it.
If you
And
take,
if you don't, and if you don't,
it's weird.
So you buy the PS5, you want to get that 4K 120 frames. Oh, just
Combo
got to remember, you got to go out and buy that TV. And then a few months later, oh look, here's a new TV that does 240 frames and 8K. Get the latest and greatest TV because you're going to need it for that PlayStation 6 or that update to the PlayStation 5 that just pushes it that little bit better.
This is
It
where I
goes
wish people use their
round
brains.
and round and round. The good old capitalism cycle goes round and round.
And this is where I wish people would use a little bit of education, a little bit of common sense with that shit. You're not saving me money. I'm not saving you money. But at the end, I just wish you would use your common sense that you were. And maybe things will be better for everybody. Just me. That's just me. I don't know.
I'm more like the idea is like I just buy my thing, it makes it work. I don't want to get gypped. I don't know crap about this stuff, but I do know a grift when I see a grift. But I do know that's a thing. Like slap that 4K sticker on a crappy TV sale for $500. That's good old capitalism American dream. That's the stuff that works.
Yeah,
I wish.
I'm looking at a quote somebody said. Yeah, this guy sums up. This is exactly what I said. And how many Series X and PlayStation 5 owners have a TV that can run 4K at 120 frames per second? 60 frames per second in 4K is just fine. Instead, use all that extra power for more detailed environments, larger open worlds, and better AI. Yes, that makes sense, but why do that when we can say, hey, we're giving you superfluous frame rates that you'll never see, but hey, you got it.
Well, Sony does make TVs, so it's kind of a combo deal.
People don't buy Sony TVs anymore.
Oh, that's okay. There we go. See, this is how old I am. I don't know this stuff, so I'm just struggling like,
Sony Bravada TVs are good. They're decent TVs, but their competition, Samsung, has a leg up on them. You know who's kicking everybody's ass right now?
Don't tell me it's those Google Fire TVs I want to tell me about.
TCL and Hisense. Same quality. Chinese. Well, TCL
can confirm. My latest TV is a TCL.
Yeah, TCL is kicking everybody's ass now.
What is my TV? Mine's is a Toshiba. Is that a Toshiba? Let me see if I can read that. No, it's a Samsung. It's a Samsung. So I got generic ass television. Good old $120.
Yeah, it's right now the top 3. I believe it is Samsung, TCL, and I want to say LG. TCL. All my TVs, with the exception of the one in my office, and the one in my bedroom, are TCLs. Mm-hmm. Good bang for the buck, good quality, good technology, and they're cheap. So yeah, Bravada has been on its way out for a long time. Yeah, but we're not here to talk about TVs. If you want to talk about TVs, go to ntings.com. Great site about technology. They tell you everything straight. I love those guys. I really love them. But let's talk about the big topic here. And that is Gamescom. And
yes, the Germans.
That's not the poke. This is not the poke fun at Gamescom. This is not the poke fun at them at all. This is just what I'm seeing, what we're all seeing. And Carl said the same thing about E3. These virtual events that we're having right now just don't feel the same. I know we're in a COVID-19 world, but they just don't feel. They don't give me the excitement like they would if I was actually there or you were actually there, and we had a couple of outlets talking about the stuff versus everybody and their mom covering this shit now. Because
it's not even that. It's not even everybody and their mom covering it. It's IGN and GameSpot. It's like the few big guys, and this is what we said when all this was started to be announced. It's a few of the big gaming sites getting everything.
Yeah.
And basically, if you want to use it, you got to make sure it has our little watermark stamp on it. Can't get clean footage directly from a developer. Oh no, because no developer's really sending out anything except base press releases at the moment. Unless your name is IGN or Kotaku or GameSpot or something else who actually sponsors the streams now.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple. There were a couple that did that, but I told you guys a while ago there was somebody who got stuff directly from the PR company and he uploaded it, and IGN told him to take it down.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So now we literally have the big companies controlling the media. And they're the ones that are getting access to the demos. They're the ones that are getting access to the previews. They're the ones that are getting access to all the stuff that would have been on the game show floor that even a standard guy could stand and wait an hour or so to play. You're not getting as much actual review like sort of reviews or impressions or previews or something like that from the people you can trust. It's now the big company groups that are telling you, oh, well, we got our hands on this. Well, of course you did. You're sponsoring their fucking stream. And when we try to do something to try and get a hold of anything, it's like, oh, yeah, we'll get it to you later. It has taken the fair nature of these events out of the hands of the people and has put them in the hands of 3 or 4 or 5, whatever. It's put it in the top 10. And they're controlling everything that's getting out at the moment. And it doesn't feel the same, especially when, eventually when we do get something from PR, they say, oh, we're setting up virtual demo rooms and stuff like that. Cool, can we play them? No.
Yeah.
It's like, and the thing is, because a lot of this stuff and the information is coming through these big outlets only, it has created a shortage of information that's actually coming out to the public. Instead of these big ones who are working hand in hand with the PR companies going, oh, this game looks great, and this is, it's great, and it's got all these great features. Whereas before, you'd have somebody, you get those stories, but they'd be accompanied by other people who've gone, okay, I played my hands on the demo, this was good, this needs to be improved, this needs to be changed. There's no actual feedback happening. Yeah. It's just glad handing.
I will say this. Though. I'm glad that the Xboxing Pass, the Xbox Game Show, gave us the ability to play those demos at home and
for 3 days.
Yes, it was limited. It was the same time as the actual events were, and like right now, they're doing the same thing right now for Steam. Certain games have a demo for however long Gamescom is. It's not the same thing. It's not. I admit that. And how many people are actually going to go take the time and download those demos?
I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now. So yeah,
it's not the same.
Well, with the Microsoft thing, because a lot of the demos were only available during daytime hours, American daytime hours. Than that, I never got a chance to have a go at anything. Because they pulled the servers down at night for maintenance or whatever. So those demos suddenly disappeared, and I can't get. And they were impossible to find on the Xbox Store anyway. It's. I'm sorry, but I miss actual gaming conventions where people actually had a chance to meet the people and talk to them and ask questions, give feedback. It's all that's gone now, and I'm sorry. It's made me lose faith in a lot of games. Because without that critical feedback at events like this, the companies aren't going to know what they're doing that could possibly upset fans or, marketing decisions or something that could turn around and bite them in the ass. Whereas before, I last time I went to PAX, I played like Devil May Cry 5, played through the demo and that. And I'm standing there with one of the PR people from Capcom, and I said, okay, this is what I liked, this is what I didn't like. And they stood there and wrote down what I said and took it as feedback. Now they're not getting that feedback, and so companies can push out whatever they think is going to work, and it might not work. And when the game fails, they go, oh, why did it fail? Well, because you had no fucking feedback.
I won't say they don't have feedback. It depends on the publisher and the company, because there are people who are on Twitter and on Reddit taking people's feedback, so they are paying attention. But you're right, there is no physical event, but there's nothing. But
the thing is, you can't give feedback without playing the actual game.
Right.
You can't give feedback from a fucking video.
Well, I'm not talking about the videos. I'm talking about the games. A good example is Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah.
They had multiple demos, multiple betas. Hey guys, what did you think? They gave you a webpage. Tell us what you thought about the game. What sucked.
And if they had events like E3 and PAX and stuff like that, where they would have them demoed on the show floor, do you really think that demo would have hit PS4, PC, or anything else?
I'd have. Well, you know what?
I'd go with probably not.
The Final Fantasy VII demo came to PC, didn't it? It was at PAX East. It came out for PlayStation.
It came out long after it had been on the convention circuit.
But it came. I mean, we can't change the fact that
it only came because people were getting ready to storm the Square Enix offices and kill everybody inside.
I mean, we can't change the fact that we're in a COVID-19 world. Yes, it sucks. And yes, the demo not having access to certain things really sucks. Yeah. But the alternative is not having anything. And I'm not saying that I don't like the virtual conventions. I don't like the way they're being handled. And like you, I don't like the fact that they're being gatekept by a few select outlets that are pretty much controlling the narrative. That I don't like.
Yeah. And I'm even getting sick of Jeff Keighley. I'm sick of seeing him hosting everything this year.
Yeah. I'm not
gonna... but it's like, and then it's like you get stupid ass recordings. Like, what was it? Friggin' poor Christopher Lloyd.
What?
Coming out and Christopher Lloyd having to come out and do that terrible read that he did for Surgeon Simulator 2. And that was
a waste of talent.
Just heartbreaking to see.
Yeah, that was a waste of talent.
And it's like you can tell a lot of these type of things that they're bringing out now. You can see that they got guys sitting there going, "I am reading a script. You can see it reflected in my glasses." But I am going to sit here and tell you this is the greatest game of all
ever.
But yeah, I miss the feeling, the smells, the excitement, the people that come with a gaming convention.
Hopefully, we'll get it next year.
And not just gaming conventions. Like this goes for conventions across the board.
Yeah,
anime conventions, sci-fi conventions, whatever you're into that's had a convention that's been cancelled this year. I just miss the excitement. I miss the people. I miss the visual representations, the overblown spectacle. I miss all of it. And a lot of us were saying when E3 got cancelled this year, oh, this is going to be a great thing for gaming. It really hasn't. It has been one of the worst things to happen for gaming.
I mean,
this year, besides like everything getting pushed back to 2021.
Honestly, question for you though: would you rather we not have what we're having right now at all? Just completely, just say cancel it all.
Honestly, yes. I'd much rather them say, "Look, we're going to push things back to 2021, just to spit and polish and make sure we get it all right. And, we can get out to you in the best quality possible."
But here's the thing about pushing it back,
instead of having to make marketing reels, gameplay demos of alpha builds, and teaser trailers and stuff. I could go a year without that if it means that the product at the end of the day is going to be so much better than what we would have had they released now.
I think a big part of that again is this year it was a rush. This year was a rush. We need to change our plans. We need to change our focus. Hey, we have to do this now. What about all the scripting we did? What about all the setup we were going to do? Everything we had in place, cancel it, change it, whatever. This year was definitely a rush. But the problem with saying wait for 2021, are we sure that we're going to have that in 2021? Are things going to go back to some sort of
honestly, outside of the US, it is possible. Within the US, I'm sorry, you guys are at least another year off, if not more.
If not more.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the international companies say, look, we are not going to run conventions or we are not going to have representatives in the US, given your current rate of infection versus overall totals versus absolute no attempt whatsoever to really curb what's going on, I don't see you guys opening up properly or even going to a tenth of normality for at least 5 years.
Yeah, and don't get me started on why that is, because
No, we're not going to get why that is, but like, I really do not see it happening for at least 5 years. I could see Australian conventions possibly returning late 2021, like in the second half of the year, but not so much in the first. I can possibly see things like Tokyo Game Show reopening next year, no problems. Obviously they didn't have a problem running Gamescom this year. So maybe they'll be able to actually open up Gamescom next year to the public, or even a limited selection of the public.
Wow, wait a second. This ain't right. Hang on.
We got breaking news.
It's saying that Chadwick Boseman has passed away. He was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2006 and finally lost his fight. And it's on his official Twitter page and his Facebook page. So unless he got hacked.
And for those of you who don't have Wikipedia handy,
I'm trying to check the major channels.
Who is this man?
The man who played the Black Panther?
Chadwick Boseman, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything on here, but at the same time, this is the same stuff that happened when Kobe passed and everybody was trying to get comfortable. But it is on his official Twitter account and Facebook. Again, it could be hacked. It could be.
Give it 24, 48 hours. I don't want to jump the gun, but if it's true,
no. Houston Chronicle News, TMZ, all the news sites all doing the same thing, saying dies at 43 after a 4-year fight with colon cancer.
Oh boy. Oh jeez.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah. Rest in power, my brother. Oh man, we should probably end the podcast with that. I gotta call some friends to tell them about this. That's actually, oof, my God.
That is,
unfortunately to end on a bad note, but
yeah,
TMZ actually put him at 42, not 43, but their research.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. It's TMZ, of all people. Oh Lord.
But yeah, it's been hitting the news sites for the last 10 minutes.
Yep. Fuck this entire year. Fuck it all.
Hey, look. I'll be honest. I'm like, just to get a touch personal about stupid shit that's fucking going on. My partner has lost her grandmother this year, and we found out yesterday that 2 of her dogs that are living with her parents are pretty much at the end of their life as well. So we're waiting for both dogs to pass probably within the next couple of weeks to a month. So yeah, this year can go and royally get fucked.
Fucking ass sex, man.
And what's fucking sucks about this is he busted his ass for years trying to make it to this industry. And then he finally does it. He does it and does successful. And then nature's like, sorry, fuck you. You're gone.
Pretty much, man.
And it's like, I know it's the worst thing to sort of thing about this particular thing is like, so many people were so like going, oh, I can't wait to see Black Panther 2. That pretty much has put that project in the water.
I don't wanna,
we won't get to see a follow-up to it. Absolutely brilliant.
I don't want to say tarnish his legacy or him as being a human being, because I know people are going to say, oh, no, Black Panther. But yes, Black Panther as a character in Marvel is done for quite some time. He is now gone. They likely will not replace him because of who he is.
Yeah.
And they'll leave his last performances as that Black Panther will
Yeah.
be removed from the Marvel Cinematic
The,
Universe.
the most that they could do is rewrite it that the sister takes up the mantle of Black Panther.
Yeah.
You mean
and
like
they
in
go
that's
that far.
about what most that they can. Well, it's the most that they can do. But unfortunately, he was the guy who made that role
yes,
and
Yeah.
help propel that movie. Like he, when it came to promotion and everything else, like you couldn't tell that this guy has been battling with this thing for the last 4 years by the way he walks, talks, and does everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
You know,
He hit it. He hit it very well. He handled himself. I didn't know. I didn't know. I did not know that.
Yeah, man.
that's goddamn. But yeah, I'll tell you now when we're not going to recover from it. So unfortunately, I think definitely
That
this will be where we're going to call it a close because I'm sure one of us is going to have to write up the posts once we get a couple more
Fuck
confirmations on course.
Fuck you, 2020. Fuck you with Kobe and Chadwick and everybody else and fucking COVID and killer bees and
I'm
Fuck
going to
you.
say this: stop taking the good black men away from us. God damn it!
2020.
Stop killing. It's the worst. It's the worst year of our Lord, man. The worst year. Anyway, just I got to end this podcast. I got so many people I got to talk to right now. I got my phone's on buzzing. I got family members calling me. I'm like, God damn it.
All right, guys, we're gonna end this on the yeah.
We'll come back with a more positive show next week. We promise.
Fuck you, 2020. And I'm sorry for saying so many times, but you, 2020.
It's the worst year of our Lord, man.
All right, guys, we're out of here.